It's Candice Quinn. I'm going to talk to you today about on-campus interviewing, or OCI. For most of us, this feels like the Hunger Games of legal recruiting, and let's face it, it really is. It's high stakes, brutal competition, and through it all, you're supposed to smile and have the right answer for every question. But here's the thing. OCI isn't just about survival. You can actually thrive during OCI if you know the right hacks. So today, I'm going to give you 5 tips that will set you apart from the rest of the candidates and get you through the OCI process without breaking a sweat. But first, let's talk about why OCI even matters at all. I know some people will tell you it's not the only path into big law and that big law is not the only career choice coming out of law school. And both of those things are true. But let's face it, OCI is the easiest way to secure a job for when you graduate law school. It's one of the most efficient, structured recruiting processes that exists. The firms come to you. They're actively looking to hire you, and they will give you a job for your 2L summer. These summer programs are designed to train you and prepare you to be a first-year associate after you graduate and actually set you up with a job offer waiting for you after graduation. For most students that don't have other connections to big law, this is the way to get into big law immediately upon graduation. And just to be clear, these are positions that are competitive and well paid. They give you real experience early on in your career and basically write you a ticket to do whatever you want after big law. If you miss out on OCI, you will be hustling to get your first legal job. In other words, you'll be competing with so many more people for so many less jobs. So yeah, OCI matters a lot if you're looking for big law. Okay, my story. I need to be real with you for a second. I completely bombed OCI, like spectacularly bombed it. I was an evening student. I did OCI after my 2L year. It was done in the summer at that point in time, and I really didn't even know what I was walking into. But on paper, I looked great. I had great grades. I had a whole second year that all the other candidates didn't have. I had law review. I knew I was going to be a law review editor. In fact, I got picked to interview with nearly every firm that came on campus. I thought, there's no way I can fail at this. But I was wrong. I had to take off time from work without telling my employer that I was interviewing. I had to find a suit that reasonably fit well. I had to schlep on the train in the heat, in the summer, in the humidity. I ended up getting changed in train stations in the summer heat. And after all of that, I ended up not preparing in the right way at all. I asked all the wrong questions and I gave all the wrong answers. I told them I wanted to go in-house, which if you know anything about big law, it's that you say you want to become partner. They don't want to train you just to have you leave for an in-house position. I also gave cringeworthy answers to just basic questions. I looked like a social freak and it was just awkward. After all that effort, I got one callback, and that was only because I knew the woman's boyfriend. And when I showed up at the callback, I failed to fit in culturally, so I just stopped. I didn't know how to play the game, so I didn't get the summer associate position, and then I didn't get big law. But that's why I'm here today, because if I had known what I know now, I would have been prepared. And I didn't have anyone to tell me how to prepare for OCI. If I'd had someone to tell me how to actually prepare for OCI, I probably could have made it through. So I'm going to help you prepare. Let's get into it. Number 1, know your story and make it real. Everyone is going to ask, why law? Why our firm? What area of law? Most candidates give some polished, rehearsed answer that looks like it came out of a career services handbook. Don't do that. Your story needs to be real. Talk about what actually brought you to law. Be authentic. Did you see injustice firsthand? Are you a career changer who thinks you can help benefit the industry you left once you have a legal degree? Maybe you just want to argue and get paid for it. That's okay. Be honest. The firms want to know that you're a real human being, not a robot. Because when they're stuck on a deal with you at midnight on a Wednesday, they want to know that you're going to be a fun person to work with and not this boring, social, awkward person. So what I recommend you do is write out your origin story and then read it over and over until you can do it without sounding like a robot. Tell it conversationally, like you're talking to a friend at a coffee shop. Tip number 2, research the firm, but don't go overboard. You need to know the firm's practice areas, but more importantly, you need to know what the firm is known for. Most of the big law firms will have every practice area, but some are known for different areas than others. So get to know the specific area they're known for. You should also know any recent alums from your school that are at the firm you're interviewing with. But if you really want to stand out, you need to go a little bit deeper without becoming a stalker. Look up the attorneys that you're going to meet with on LinkedIn. Read their articles, read what they've currently spoken at. Find something that you can mention during the interview about these specific people. Make sure it's not in a creepy way, but make sure it's something that has a little bit of interest to you and that you think you could just talk about in a conversational way while meeting with them. Now, interviewers can change. So if you prep for partner A and partner A didn't show up because there was an emergency, well, that's okay. That's where you're just going to stay more general and talk about the firm generally, and then also ask about the specific interviewer and, ask them, what do they love about their role? What was their favorite case? What was their favorite deal? You can be general and still seem sincere and conversational. So before each interview, prepare 3 to 4 questions that you can ask and try to find one question for each interviewer that you'll be meeting with. You never want to be caught flat-footed if the interview lineup changes, so having a mix of both specific questions and general questions is a really good way to stay prepared and not get mixed up. Tip number 3, have questions that show you're thinking long-term. When they ask, do you have any questions for us? And they will, get ready with your questions. Don't just ask about the things that you can find published in your school handbook or on a website. Ask about things that show you took a little bit extra time to think about this firm specifically. You can ask about things like mentorship structures, paths to partnership, how associates develop direct client relationships, or even how you can get exposure to different practice areas. Prepare 5 to 7 of these SMART questions before the interview. And yes, you can reuse these from firm to firm because they are general enough that they look like questions that are helping you make the decision about what firm you want to join. And that's exactly what they are doing. You won't use them all, but you want enough that you're able to fill any extraneous time. Never end the interview because you say, I don't have any more questions right now. Always have another question. Tip number 4, follow up like a pro immediately. After every interview, send a thank you email to each interviewer. Don't make it a generic, thanks for your time. Don't send it all in one email. Send it in separate emails to each interviewer and talk about their specific contribution. Maybe you mention a case they discussed. Maybe you mention something that they asked you. You add on a clarification to your answer. Show them that you were paying attention and that you appreciated their time and have a real interest in joining their firm. Now, the real hack is that to do this well, you need to take notes immediately after each interview. So don't come out and sit down in the chair like a pile of jelly and go, whoo. Before you do that, pull out your notebook or your phone or whatever you use and write down these notes so that you can write thank you emails that will be effective. Tip number 5, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. This was what happened to me. I only got one callback, and so then all of my eggs were in that one basket. And as soon as that basket tipped over, well, I was just a scrambled egg. Even if you think you have a dream firm, don't get tunnel vision. You may like another firm better. Use this opportunity to really evaluate all the firms as much as they're evaluating you. And don't let a rejection destroy you. If you hear everyone else getting callbacks from firm A and you didn't get anything from it, just wait for firm B because it will come. Firms always pass on incredible candidates for reasons that make no sense. These interviewers have all the decision. If they just don't like your hair color, they can just not choose you. There's only so many spots that they have. If they already have too many students from your school, they may just be sitting there just to fill the time to meet a requirement. But don't worry about that. Go ahead and treat every interview like practice. Take it as serious as you can. You're using it to refine your pitch. If something you say gives you a bad expression, change that for the next interview. Don't keep saying the things that don't get positive responses. This way, by the time you get to your dream interview, you'll be a pro. Look, OCI is stressful, and I get it. But if you prepare well, you can be successful. If you show up authentically and you treat it like a learning experience instead of a life or death situation, you will absolutely be successful. Once you've secured the interview, it's really just to get the check mark next to your name to get the callback. Getting the interview is the hardest part. And once you have that, well, your grades and those accolades don't matter nearly as much because you already got past the first step. I truly believe that your career should never be left to chance. You should always take every opportunity you can to be strategic and prepare yourself ahead of time. When you know the game, it is easier to play the game and win the game. Don't be out there playing baseball when everyone else is playing soccer. If you need help preparing for OCI or any other strategy about your career, go ahead and schedule a free call with me. The link is in the pinned comment and the description below. Bye for now, hackers.